Hey, welcome back to Burn the Ships 850. We're here with Angela with Big Fish Roofs and Restoration. Um, Welcome to our
Thank
podcast.
you. Thanks for having me.
Sure, yeah, no problem. And of course, I'm Tim, and
I'm Sherry.
we do welcome you here. Um, so, tell us a little bit about Big Fish Roofs and what you guys do.
Well, we're a local roofing company out of Loxley, Alabama, and the owner of the company is a Navy veteran. So we're both locally owned and operated, but also veteran owned and operated. And as far as roofing goes, we do pretty much all kinds of roofing, from shingles to metal roofs. We do replacements, we do repairs, and we also do coating systems, especially for commercial buildings or flat roofs. Mhm.
So, that brings up a question for me, of course, is what is coating systems?
Yeah. So, coating systems is a great way to repair a roof if the whole roof does not need to be replaced. If you just have a few leaks, or sometimes other roofing companies may install a roof and not get it just right, and you can have us come in to do a coating system so you don't have to replace the whole thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
How did you get started with Big Fish Roofs?
Well, that's an interesting story. A very good friend of mine, Corey Schultz, he owns the business, and we were talking one evening, and he asked me if I knew any salespeople, that he was looking to expand the team for Big Fish Roofs. And I told him that he's such a great salesperson, he really didn't need more salespeople. He needed to hire someone to do the administrative work so that he could actually be in the field more often. And so he said, "Do you want a job?" And I said, "Sure." So I guess I talked myself into that one.
So, what's your role?
Well, I'm actually the operations manager, but I do repairs as well.
Oh my goodness, you do repairs?
I do. I am the one that gets on the roof. Yes.
So wait a minute. When you show up at my house to tell me that you're going to fix my roof,
Yeah.
how many strange looks do you get from that?
A lot. Yeah.
So obviously, with that being said, it's not a normal to have a woman
Not usually. No.
show up and say, "Here, I'm here to fix your roof." So with that being said, obviously, what's some projects you guys have worked on? What's the project you've worked on?
A lot of different projects. Like I said, with the coatings, I'm mostly handle the coating repairs. So I've worked with commercial companies, like national chains for storage units. Um, we've also worked with individual homeowners in Baldwin County and in the surrounding areas. Um, so it just depends. It's a flat roof is what I handle with the coating section. Um, so those are the specifics that I get involved in.
Do you have any interesting stories to share about roofing?
Well, I've learned a lot about it that I certainly never knew before. Um, when I came on board, I was just doing some office administrative work. Um, the way I got into actually doing the coatings repairs is because I had a camper, and I went into the camper one day. I was getting it fixed up to sell, and I went into it one day, and there was water all on the camper. So I called my friend, my boss, Corey, and I said, "Could you please come look at the roof on this camper and tell me why it's leaking?" So he came over and saw that a tree branch had come in and fallen on the top of the camper and punched a hole in the top of it. And he's a pretty big guy, and he said, "You do not want me to get on the middle of the roof and try to fix this camper." So he said, "But somebody who's smaller than me might be able to do that." And I said, "I don't know what to do." And he said, "Don't worry about it. I'll get on a ladder. I'll get up there with you. I'll hand you everything. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do." So that's exactly what we did. And I fixed my own camper roof. And I was teasing him, and I said, "I see exactly what you're doing here. You're getting me to learn how to do these repairs." And he said, "No, but that's a good idea." Um, and so once I learned how to do it, and then we had people calling in saying they also needed help with their flat roofs, with their commercial roofs, even with their campers. I've also repaired roofs for mobile homes and campers. And so when those started coming in, Corey would ask me, "Do you want to go do this now that you know how to do it?" So I said, "Absolutely," and I really enjoy it. So
I guess if you had a fear of heights before, you don't anymore.
no, I don't. Heights don't really bother me. It doesn't matter how tall a roof is, as long as I can stand in the middle and there's plenty of roof on all sides of me. But I'm very careful when I get around the edges for sure.
So
Right.
obviously, we do live here in the South.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's obvious. And I'm gonna go. It must be brutally hot.
It is. It is. Especially obviously in the summer. We had a commercial storage company call us out to Fort Walton Beach, and they had some issues with their roofs of their storage units there. And so that was several days in, I think, August that were
Oof.
extremely hot. But, we're really good about staying hydrated, taking breaks, making sure to get cooled off. And it's also, we start early in the morning.
So obviously, you've told us about, I'm guessing, bigger projects.
Yeah.
So what does that mean on the other side of that, though? If I have one small little leak around my vent pipe.
Yeah, we do that too. We actually had another storage facility that called us because they had a leak over their storage units, and it was literally just one tiny screw hole. And that's not a problem. We'll go fix that for you too. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. We can handle them.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you have for consumers?
That's a great question. I guess my one thing I would definitely say is if you think you might have a problem, address it immediately because it's only going to make things worse. Besides that, cheaper is not always less expensive. We had a customer in Fairhope, a homeowner, and her insurance company made her get a new roof. She didn't have any problems with her old roof, but they required every so many years that you have to replace your roof. So she got quotes for different roofs, and she does have a flat roof. And unfortunately, she went with the cheapest roof. And after about a year or two, it started leaking, and she kept calling the original roofing company who put it on, and they would come out, talk to her about it, but wouldn't do anything, kept blowing her off, kept basically pushing things forward and not doing anything to help her. Well, she had remodeled her kitchen and her house, and the leaks, there were several leaks coming in right over her brand new hardwood floors, right over her new stove. It was really, and it was upsetting to her, of course, because she had spent
Sure.
so much time and money, and she was so thrilled with having the renovation, and then the water's coming in and basically could destroy it if she didn't get it taken care of. So we were able to come out and fix the problems, and honestly, you could really tell that the people who put on the roof were the lowest price because they did the job that looked like it was the lowest price
Wow.
job. So but we can help with that too. So if you have worked with a roofing company before and they are not, giving you the customer service that you need, or they're not addressing your problems, then we can come solve those pretty quickly for you.
So, so what's your obviously this is called Burn the Ships,
Yeah.
which is obviously everybody has a story to tell. So for you, and we'll take it as the roofing part or even the personal part. What is your part of this where you say, hey, I've had that moment of I've had to burn the ships and trudge forward even though it was not necessarily easy?
Yeah. So when I first started doing the repairs myself, it definitely took people off guard that a woman was showing up to repair their roof. That was just not expected.
Rightfully so, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So one particular customer was not happy that a woman had showed up, and he was letting me know that I was not sufficient to fix his roof. He was pretty unhappy with us, and he kept asking me questions like, "Well, who else is going to come to do this?" And I said, "No, it's just me." And he said, well, who's going to help you carry everything on the roof? And I'm like, nope, I've got that covered. So once we did the repair, of course, and it took care of the leak, and he had been struggling with that for several years. He was happy about the repair, but I did take it personally at first, and it was a little easy to get upset about it. But I realized that there's a lot of women who have done a lot more courageous things than me, and new things that women had not been traditionally doing, and this is just part of it.
You're just being a pioneer in the roofing
Yeah,
industry.
in the roofing
Okay.
industry. I don't really think of myself that way, but now we do a much better job of letting people know that Angela is going to be showing up and she will be doing your repair. So at least it gives people a little bit more of a heads up that they're not so surprised.
So you get to do the office work and the actual work.
Well, not all of the actual work, thank goodness. Just the coating repairs.
Just the repair part.
Yeah.
So obviously, as a sort of recap, it sounds like to me that you guys pretty much do any aspect of it. What about inspections?
Yes, we do inspections. We also have a maintenance program where if you have leaves and debris on your roof, we come out twice a year. We clean the roof off, blow off all the leaves, get rid of the sticks and anything else that's landed on the roof. We cut away the tree branches that may be overhanging the roof, and we inspect the roof to see if there's any problems or any potential problem areas so that you can kind of nip that in the bud ahead of time. So we do that. But we also do inspections for if you're trying to sell your house or you are buying a new house and you want to make sure that the roof's in good shape, we do inspections for that as well.
One other question I have around that is, and of course, I know Corey, obviously, and something we've talked about before, which I think we would be remiss in not talking about this, is fortified roofs.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So kind of give us a recap of what that is.
Well, I'll tell you my personal story, and it's
Okay.
a very sad one. So very large tree branches fell on my roof during Hurricane Sally. And I went through the not terribly fun process of working with the insurance company to get the roof replaced. And Corey and Big Fish Roofs did replace my roof. They did a great job. And they asked me at the time if I wanted my roof to be fortified, and I was ignorant and did not know enough about it. And I said, no, I don't want to spend the extra money to get it fortified. And since then, I've learned that I am paying significantly higher homeowners insurance than other people who have fortified roofs.
Oh, wow.
And if I could go back in time and make that choice to have it fortified, it would have saved me so much money.
But it's really not that much more upfront, right?
It's not compared to what you're saving. In fact, if you get your roof fortified, the savings on your homeowner insurance a lot of time will pay for your roof in maybe 5 to 10 years.
Many times over.
Yeah.
Okay.
How can people reach out and connect with you?
However is most comfortable for them. You can reach us you can call us, you can text us, you can email us, you can enter your information on our website. Absolutely. So we're pretty accessible. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to recap just kind of what you do, and then we'll.
Yeah. Big Fish Roofs. We handle both flat roofs, regular roofs, shingle roofs, and metal roofs, replacements, repairs, maintenance, inspections. We pretty much do it all.
I love your tagline.
Yes, we can hook you up at Big Fish Roofs.
So, Angela, it was great to have you on.
Yeah, thank you
thank
so
you.
much for having me. This was fun.
And so I'm Tim.
I'm Sherry. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.